Yo guys, AI music is very hard to detect, and in this video we're going to compare Suno versus Google's new Lyria 3.5. The point of this video is to test the quality to see how far they've come in AI development so that we're aware of what's out there. Okay, so here's a song we generated on Suno. It's a 1970s black soul style. What we're going to do is copy the same exact style here, same lyrics, and paste this into Google Flow's generator. And then we'll compare it against this track here. So let me know what you guys rate this song in the chat. Put 1970 song and give it a rating 1 to 10.
Tell me I need you. Want you to stay. Want you to
All right, so that was Suno V5.5, I believe. No, excuse me, that was V5. That wasn't even 5.5, the latest version. So that's a really good generation in my opinion because it sounds authentic to the era. Okay, so what we're gonna do is generate again using the same exact lyrics, same exact prompt, and we're gonna use the new model Suno V5.5. And I just wanna show you guys there is a sound difference, okay? So here's Google's Lyria 3.5. So it could pass as 1970s, but my inner self is telling me that it's like a modern singer trying to sound like the 70s, but it's not a true authentic 70s sound, if that makes sense. Not the instrumentation, I'm talking about the voice. There are certain characteristics in a voice and how we spoke back then. Here's the next song. All right, so what we're gonna do in Suno is copy the same lyrics, same prompt, then use version 5.5. Oh, let me sign up real quick. All right, so far Google is showing a lot of realism in their instrumentation and vocals. They're, in my opinion, just lacking a little bit of that excitability of a song. But I want to show you guys there's a certain section of the second generation that sounds extremely realistic. So as we listen to this, I'm going to type into Suno on version 5.5 this time. Let's add a style here. Let's copy the same lyrics. And then let's create. So I'll say nothing has beat our version 5. It just sounds authentic to the era. There's no other way to say it, except it feels real. And it feels like a real song. Now again, Google's quality is technically higher, but again, what I think they're doing is training on modern singers to sound like the old school, and it's just not the authentic old school twang. So it just lacks a little bit of realism. But here's Suno version 5.5. Now I want you guys to listen to their soul samples. I feel like they did something to the algorithm where it doesn't, to the model where it doesn't generate the same type of soul anymore. It just sounds very modern. See how it's like airy vocals that it's just very different. So let's generate version 5 through version 5. I definitely said female singer, didn't I? I guess not. Here's what we need to specify to make it a female singer. So see how it feels very like modern Tyler the Creator type? It's not like authentically old. And again, I'm not here to critique it. I'm just saying that I feel like something changed in version 5.5 to version 5. And we're going to test this here, but nothing has beat our controlled record yet. this feels authentic. But let's see what the vocals are. Again, that airy vocal. Could feel a little Marvin Gaye-ish in a way, I guess. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Now, I'll say the music definitely was accurate. I'm not sure about the background singing though, or the vocals on that one. All right, here's version 5. I just want to see how it just feels more like, all right, let's do a Where's female singer. What the heck is this?
Want you to stay, stay, stay.
See how it feels like, I can't explain it, but the vocals are more of that time period. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Version 5 to 5.5, something changed in the formula. Here's version 5 one more time.
I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you, baby.
A lot of vibrato, like baby, like that. And I don't know, it's just different. Here's 5.5.
Want you to stay, 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 stay.
It just sounds like Beyonce doing a 1970 song. It just, I don't know. Something happened in the formula, y'all. I don't know. It's just not hitting the same. So I will say, because there's such a dramatic difference between V5 and V5.5, it's not as consistent as Google being consistently the same. The only thing I think about Google's Lyria 3.5 is that it just lacks that like excitement. Maybe because we didn't prompt it with the song. I bet if we prompted it with some kind of existing audio, it would have, you know, a vibe to it. So let's take an existing track. I think their limit is like 40 megabytes. So I got to find a beat that's 40 megabytes or smaller. Let's take this 21 Savage track, style track demo. And let's see if we can do this. So this is 40, just under 40 megabytes. So let's add that to Suno and to Google Lyria 3.5. Let's go to Suno, let's go to create. And we need to start from scratch. So we got to get rid of all this stuff, clear. And what we're gonna do is use audio as the input and then upload from here. We're gonna find our track. And because it's trap, okay, agree to terms. And then it says describe the contents, trap. What's, I don't know, Memphis and dark. Trap, Memphis, and dark. You don't need to be a genius to do that step, you guys. There's no magic there. All right, so let's just add the same exact prompt here. Now, I don't know, I guess it's still uploading. So we're waiting on that to finish. And then once this uploads, we're gonna hit continue. Okay, Google, I just caught the tail end of it. It says flag for copyright. There's nothing about that was copyrighted. So it looks like you guys are going to run into issues on Google Flow Music, even for having the word 21 Savage in the file type. It has nothing to do with 21 Savage. This is a complete original track that we created. So what I'll do is I'll try to rename it and see if it accepts it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think because I said Runnin' in the hook, I think it thinks we're trying to copy the song Runnin', which it was a reference to Runnin'. So to be fair, we might have to upload a different track onto Google. That is going to be a little frustrating considering that is a completely like new track. So that's going to be annoying for you guys. But let's just see what Suno creates. So Suno didn't flag anything. So let's just see what Suno does. And this is V5, 5.5. But it looks like we're not going to be able to compare it directly against Google. So we're going to have to find another track to go on to Google. But let's just see what Suno does with the difference in the output when you upload your own audio. All right, so it definitely cheesified it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It took it from being a banger to something, I don't know what the heck this is. Definitely sounds like commercial music now. All my cars keep. A little cheesy for me. I don't know, it's super cheesy. Very cheesy. You know how you can tell Suno that and then that I'm telling you. Those are like dead giveaways, some Suno. Here we go. All right, so I'm trying Google to see if it's just a name thing or if it's like, I don't know, a lyric thing. Man, this is Cheesified for sure. I don't know. It's like it studied all the Toyota commercials and said, this is trap. So I'm waiting on Google. Google's taking their sweet old time. All right, let's use a newer song here. So this is a sample from Google. Okay. It says file size exceeded. Never mind. Let's forget that one. So I'm not going to lie. One of the frustrations about the Google uploader is that it limits it to 40 megabytes. And I think it's to prevent against people copying full songs. But you guys got to realize that when you export a wave, the minimum is going to be like 32 megabytes. So you're like your song has to be like a minute long to upload it in wave, which is the highest quality. So it's kind of weird. They want you to do MP3s because of the size limit, because like MP3 dumbs down the quality tremendously. So that is a little tedious. Okay. Especially when you have to do all this stuff just to knock down the disk space. All right. So we're just going to assume that they just kind of like shadow blocked this upload. Is just going in circles, not doing anything. Okay. So let's upload another track dumbed down to MP3. Okay, so on Suno, this time I'm not going to describe it because last time Suno automatically analyzed the audio for us and created a stylistic prompt from the music that it deciphered. That's a unique thing about Suno I've noticed. It describes the music for you. So here's a completely brand new song we're uploading into Google Flow. It says vocals detected. This track appears to contain vocals. Remixing is currently available for instrument tracks only. You can upload it as is to use our other features or remove the vocal. Upload as is. So a lot of kind of blocks in the way of vocal. I guess they're trying to, I don't know, trying to just avoid copyright issues. Let's just hit send. I didn't give it a prompt. Actually, let's do, let's say, I don't even know what to say. I guess remix. I guess you can't remix it. Let's just say trap. Actually, I'm not going to put a prompt. I just want to see what it does if we do no prompt. What is it going to do to our song? I have no idea. All right. So it says the audio matches an existing recording. Our system matched this upload to a known recording. What is up with these copyright flags, you guys? This is so tedious. You guys want to hear the track? I literally wrote this track from scratch. All right, here's the track. Now we sampled Google's sample maker or whatever. Like this track does not exist
homie,
anywhere.
Let's be for real. Ain't stood on none, just ride on niggas. So homie, just ask yourself, why you ain't blast yourself? Got the Draco 7.6.2.5 stick, shiesty mask and glove. Find a low, I slide myself. I don't need nobody help. Bop in your crib like Santa, nigga. And I ain't got no L's. I'm so pussy, run. Spark from the Draco, he called 12. Homie, let's be for real. Ain't stood on none, just ride on niggas. So homie, just ask yourself.
Like, tell me what song that came from. I literally freestyled that song. What song did that come from? So we have both Suno and Google showing weird copyright filters that make zero sense. On Google, I can understand because I said running. On the last song, it was like running. Now on Suno, that was a completely original song. Then it's saying, oh man, we detect this is an existing track that I just made yesterday. So it doesn't matter which platform, you're going to run into these weird copyright blocks. That's why I just stopped using my own audio. It's just frustrating and annoying. But I guess from this point, instead of using songs, let's use what are called melodic loops or instrument expressions without the vocals and without the drums. So what we're going to do is go to busyworksbeats.com. We have a pack called the Blueprint, and we're going to go into the Blueprint because it has melodies in here. Let's just grab some melodies in the style of R&B. Let's do something like this. Now, who's to say they aren't just training off of these? They want more melody loops because they can train off of it without vocals. Like, because the whole other thing didn't make any sense. Let's just give it this one. Okay, so this one is called Tropical. Let's drag this in as audio. Upload. Let me find this track. Now, I want to see what Google did to our trap track. I said, here's the original. I don't know if it plays. Yeah. So here's the original.
I did help. Bop in your crib like Santa, nigga.
And I said, turn it into 1990s rap. So let's see if it did that at all. Now, this is a track Suno wouldn't let me upload. I don't know about those horns. Those horns are very early 2000s. Nowhere did I said dumping classics out the trunk.
when the station plays. Spiral notebook on the corner block. Cassette tapes
None of these lyrics did I say.
spinning in the day. You turn nothing into heavy game. Press record when the station plays.
Sorry, this is super cheesy, and it's not even 1990s. So yeah, this, I don't know. This is a failure on both ends, on Google's side and on Suno's side on this one. Google Flow Music, I should say.
Turn the radio up. Dubbing classics out the trunk.
And I like the sounds in here.
Heavy man. Press
That-
record when the station plays. Press record. Spiral notebook on the corner block. Cassette tape spinning in the deck.
All right, none of those lyrics did I say though.
Turn nothing into heavy.
And plus, that's not even a 1990 sound; that's a 2000 sound. So we're gonna use the same. Man, none of these are really looking too good side to side. What we're gonna do is just drag the audio in and just let it do its thing. I'm not gonna tell it what to do. I just want to hear what it does with version 5.5 into Suno. Same deal into Google. Now on Google, I think we have to tell it what to do. So I'm gonna say remix, and let's make sure we're on 3.5. It's on pro mode in terms of Ghostwriter, and it's on the standard mode, so it takes a little more time to produce the record. So I don't know how to specifically trigger remix mode, so I'm just gonna say remix. Okay, so as that uploads, we're gonna go back to Suno and listen to what it did with this loop that we gave it. This is pretty dope. Very spacey, it's very vibey. So still waiting on Google on a 15-second clip. It's still uploading. Don't know why it's taking so long. Meanwhile, Suno did 2 generations. Okay, so Google is definitely slower. I think it's doing like copyright checks or something, because it does not make sense for a 15-second clip to take this long to upload. So this would be good background music for YouTube, for like a gaming channel, or even just some kind of podcast, or just background music in general. So it kept the original idea and it just flipped it into a whole track. So again, we're still waiting on Google here, guys. I don't know if they like blocked me from that last upload or what. They're just not uploading my tracks here. All right, so you guys say it says processing your upload. So it means it already uploaded and it's processing the sound. Okay, so I don't know what the heck took so long before. I think it was just maybe a broken page. So I just hit Command-Shift-R to do a full refresh. So maybe that's what it was. It was just hanging. So we're gonna tell it to remix that idea, and then we're gonna compare Suno V5.5, which created this one. It's gonna be hard to top this one. And let's check the time it takes for Google. So Google's pretty close to Suno in terms of generation time. I'd say it's probably, you know, a third or maybe half of the speed of Suno. I think the thing is, Suno gives you like a preview, even if it's not fully generated. Okay. Now here's another thing Google Flow Music does sometimes. It'll go from 2 generations to 1, and it just doesn't make the second one. Like, I don't know. All right, wait a minute. Now we got to go back to the original upload, because if you don't remember what the upload sounded like, is this? Okay, so we're asking ourselves, do we hear that in this song that Google generated or not? I don't really hear that anywhere in the song. This is more musically rich, sonically rich. And the cool thing is, like when I download Wave, I believe it's an actual Wave file from Google, whereas Suno, MP3s and Waves pretty much sound the same. So interesting, even the EDM sounds sound more clean. That's another genre I meant to test in Suno, because EDM in Suno sounds very plastic. We're going to test that next. I want to show you guys how to take this AI stuff and make it sound super, super full. So let's drag it into Logic Pro, for example. We're going to use my new plugin, AI Mastering 9. It's called busyworksbeats.com/AI Mastering. You can find the new BusyWorks Beats AI Mastering 9. This is our latest version. And you guys can try it out for 7 days if you guys want. So what we're going to do is add a little more fullness to this. So what we're going to do is just hit Auto Master for now. Now normally you want to play this during the loudest part of your track. Set that clean knob for AI music. Here's before. So again, here's before. Here's after. Here's before. Here's after. Now we can dial it in further than this, but the point is we make this sound jump out of the speaker. Okay, so with further processing, you can get these songs to sound like something off the radio. That's the whole point of me showing you that. So that's at busyworksbeats.com/AI Mastering. Now what we're going to do is, so we got Suno. I think Suno's generation was better, in my opinion, but the quality of Google was better, if that makes sense. The musical idea from Suno is better, but the quality on Google was the winner there. All right, so now let's take a West Coast track that we made. We're going to upload this into Google. Let me make sure it's under 40. Of course, it's 62 megabytes. All right, I have to convert this to MP3 real quick, guys. Hold on. So to be fair to our test today, since we're doing side-by-side comparisons, again, not a perfect A/B test because there's so many little nuances of these machines here. We're going to grab the MP3, which is only, and it says the audio matches an existing recording. What? Suno. This is a completely original song we did. All right, so Suno clearly has some kind of copyright just overlord issue going on, and I'm actually going to cancel because this is so frustrating. And normally I would pay for the Suno Studio, but it's just, I can understand it's not their issue, but it's like overkill. Like whatever they're doing is just overkill. Like any one lyric, but again, I get it because this company's being heavily scrutinized, so now everything's under question in Suno, but that is a workflow killer. The only workflow killer I can think of in Google's Flow Music is that you have to have stuff under 40 megabytes. It's like, what music producer has anything under 40 megabytes? Nobody. You're producing in waves for the most part. And like I said, guys, the average wave file can be 32 megabytes just by printing it. Okay. So that is a heavy restriction, and it forces a lot of manual DAW back and forthness. If you guys didn't have a DAW, I don't know how you would even like do that. Remix into an EDM song. So that is very frustrating. And as you guys can see, both platforms have their own weird copyright guards. So we can't even compare this song. It's almost so annoying that it's not even worth hearing it from Suno. That's how annoying it is. So let's just hear what Google has to say here. All right, so again, as we're doing these tests, we can't even compare them because there's so many little nuances that we can't see. All right, so here is the EDM remix of the West Coast track. This is hard. So they're definitely good at remixing. What the heck? All right, something happened at the end there. Okay, just kind of failed. But I will say this is very high quality. It feels like their headroom is a lot higher for people who know what I'm saying. The quality of the sounds is more pristine. You could tell it's not like just noise. It's like actual instruments. Yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's download this and then see if Suno will remix this. How about that? How about we do a little human worm effect or whatever it's called? Because I can't believe they said it was copyrighted. There was nothing in there copyrighted. That is actually crazy. All right, so but I get it. Suno's under fire, so they probably don't take a lot of audio uploads anyway. So that restricts you guys' outputs. So I guess here's my point. If you can't put your human input into this machine and remix it and twist it like easily, then that means you have to type all your stuff into a prompt, and it's extremely hard to describe music. I mean, to that level where you're like describing syllable by syllable what you want it to do. That's impossible to do on paper. I mean, I'm sure there is a way, but it would take forever. It's like looking at a picture. You can technically describe it pixel by pixel, but like it's just easier to just paint something and be like, here's the picture instead of trying to describe it. All right, so that is my take on this. Let's see if it will remix that track, and then I'll say remix the remix. Let's drag it back into Google. Now we have a fair comparison here. So we have a fair starting point. Remix this song into 90s R&B. All right, so this will test the genre bendability, if that's even a word. Style, we're just gonna say remix into 90s R&B. Boom. All right, so now we got to use AI to test AI. Now we're in the self-learning loop of AI. AGI, anybody? All right, so I don't know why this is taking forever to upload. I think it's the same issue as before where I have to restart the window. In the meantime, let's listen to what Suno did with the remix. I don't know why this is called 21 Savage stuff. So off the bat, I can hear very like shiny frequencies that are very harsh and very resonant frequencies in the highs off Suno's generation.
I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em.
It's like they got some of the smack and some of the bass, but it still sounds like just noise being shaped, if that makes sense.
How to get it just like that.
It's like just when we like you can hear all the noise.
I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that.
But it is more danceable though.
Just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just.
And first of all, this is not 90s R&B. I just realized that is nowhere close to 90s R&B. What the? Yeah, that sounds nothing like 90s R&B. I just realized that. Hold up, is this the right track? Yeah, what? That sounds nothing like. What the freak? All right, now Google's still trying to figure out what to do. Like Google work. I don't know if you guys ever had an issue with Google's Gemini. Sometimes you'll tell it something to do and then it just stops and it's like, can't do that. And you're like, can you explain why you can't do it? And it's like, I'm paying for this and it's just not doing basic things. So I don't know why this is like frozen basically on Google. So after doing this test, you guys, I can say that both platforms clearly have a long way to go in terms of quality and sonics. Google's definitely there. In terms of excitability, Suno is definitely there. I'm going to give this about 1 more minute to figure out what it's going to do. I'm not sure why it's taking forever on Google Flow. Maybe because it's generating lyrics or something, but this is a crap show, you guys. Nothing's really like, you should get this one or that one. They're both kind of like, they both have their flaws, put it that way. Now, we'll say Suno is lightning fast in terms of generation. Now, let's give it one more try just to see if something happened before where it was confused. Let's see if it sounds like, nope.
I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that.
Get it just like that.
I'ma show 'em how to get it just like that.
That is not 90s R&B. Let's see where it goes.
I'ma show 'em how to get it. I'ma show 'em how to get it. Just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it. Just like that.
Yeah, no, it's not 90s R&B.
Just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it just like I'ma show 'em how to get it. Just
I guess they're thinking R&B like B5 R&B, I guess maybe, but 90s is a very specific style of R&B.
I'ma show 'em how to get it. Just like that. I'ma show 'em how to get it. Just like that.
Which was not that upbeat. Okay, so here's Google. This is the final test for today. Now they actually remixed the track. Now they redid the lyrics. What the freak? Why'd they change the lyrics? They just completely ignored the lyrics.
Found this stuff inside my jacket from a show late last summer. The paper edge.
They just literally created new lyrics. Were we supposed to get the lyrics from this and copy and paste?
Slow it down.
Let me remix from this. Let me do this because maybe I did it incorrect. Okay, so let's do it the right way. We got to click these buttons, go to remix. It says we could do a cover, we can replace, we can extend. What I want to do is just do a cover and instruction. Make this into 90s R&B before I fall asleep. Okay, very different. All right, advanced. I don't know. Details. R&B. Man, you guys, this is a little bit of a vibe killer here. All right, let's let this load up. All right, now we'll it still made its own lyrics up. But at least it has the same rhythm, and they actually made it into R&B. Now the lyrics, I have no idea what it's saying, but at least it actually remixed that thing into R&B. So Google's actually won on that one, even though it's still off. It's still won in the terms of remixing. This is going to turn into a snooze fest if I continue. I will say that, guys, after this video, I'm actually shocked how far away AI music is to sounding like real stuff with ease. Now, the way I've seen it is that Suno Studio is fun because it has a workflow, but you still have to think of it as a music producer. Google Flow's music the same. The songs I make on there, I normally sample them and do something else with the song. So that's the limit I've seen with AI music. Okay, I haven't seen it to where you just prompt and everything sounds perfect off the bat. So we will continue comparing these tools. It's game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace out, guys.